It's a fascinating time period. Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say it's a fascinating time period? And we're witnessing more and more glitches. We're learning that there are greater powers in this universe. And the way that we navigate tribulation is by having faith in God and having the inexhaustible belief in ourselves. And that's an important energy to harness. You know, we hear about the 10 days of darkness, and you've heard about tribulation, but we should understand what it all means. And how could we navigate 10 days of darkness? How could we navigate the darkness when light is information? You know, a lot of people are frustrated right now. Is that you receiving this transmission? You're frustrated because you don't have the information. Today, on this world famous update, I'm going to give you real life examples, how we navigate the darkness, because a lot of us on our human journey, we need to have this information to keep moving forward. And we're being trained by God to go within for the information. It's unbelievable what's been happening right now. And we're gathered today to have the inner work done for tribulation. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. If you haven't done so already, I appreciate if you smash the like button. It's going to help others find what they need to know about the 10 days of darkness. And, you know, since linear time is fake, we don't know how it's all going to be playing out. But what we need to know, this is a biblical event. And when we take the 10 days of darkness tribulation, we could really know how to manage the time period, how to actually thrive and flourish during the time period. We're going to have to remove expectations and attachments. So again, I'm just giving some time for everyone to get on this very important update. We're going to go through what tribulation actually means, how to go around expectations and attachments, the importance of light in the darkness, happiness. A lot of people have not been happy in the past year, and this is done by design. And that's why it's going to segue us to the #1 YouTube episodic show. It's called Friday Night Live. It's Friday, Light Warriors. We're making this 10 Days of Darkness transmission on a beautiful day. It's called Friday. And I hope to see you all later. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I'll be back on later for the #1 YouTube episodic show. It's called Friday Night Live. So, you know, we're going to just, we're going to retune. I know the energy is very weird right now. So just tune yourself to the 432 hertz frequency, God's frequency, and we'll make it through tribulation. You are the light in the darkness. And your role during this time period is so essential because we're actually going through an extinction event. We're going through a massive reset. God is pressing the reset button on this game of life. Remember the game of life? But some people right now, they're getting so angry that the humans are rising up. They're just taking the, like a narcissist, they just flip the game over. You know, you're playing a game and they flip the game over like a little child. But this is where we're at right now. This is a very important energy update. So please smash the like button if you haven't done so already. If it calls you through free will, of course. Please subscribe to the channel. Click the bell next to subscribe and select all, and you'll get all the updates. You could participate in our polls in the community tab. It really makes all of these energy updates authentic when we all collaborate together. I'm very grateful for all the support on Patreon. We do live Zoom meetings. They're going to get more and more powerful as we're going through this massive shift. I'm grateful for the support. The link is pinned above. And let's get this very important energy update on the road. Many of you have heard about the 10 days of darkness. And, we're witnessing a massive glitch right now, and we don't really know the answers. We've been tracking the Schumann resonance, and, I've been using the same website for all these years. I'm using this website, Light Warriors. Joy Dawn, thank you so much. 999 completion. That's what we actually had yesterday. We had the 9th day, which marked the completion. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for the family of light, for the support. To automatically being me. Yeah, that's what it's all about. You have to be your authentic self. Go back to the place where we were supposed to be, and not live someone else's life, and not be a collection of these programs. For the first time, the website has no update. Every day they update it, and it's even in they update it sometimes multiple times a day. And this was very frustrating to me. So I actually, I checked one more time before I got on, and there's a massive website glitch, I guess. I don't know, because when I went to click on it before, it says updated 3 hours ago, and it's still the same. It's a glitch. It says updated 3 hours ago, but it's still the same that it was over 24 hours ago. We have to go within for the information at this time. Things are trying to throw you off your path, and things are very confusing. There's multiple timelines right now, and each individual is actually experiencing their own personal timeline, which could then throw you off yours. God is training people to be sovereign. Once again, God is training people to be sovereign. And that's what the 10 days of darkness is all about. If you spend 10 days without the outside world beating you down, Tesla said, be alone. That's where ideas are born. Free from distractions beating down the creative mind. We have to go within during this time period, and that's what God wants for us. We're leaving an old age where people gave up their power and they bowed down to the false idols. And we're witnessing this, even on my journey. I could sit back, I could critique myself. I could take out the accountability mirror. Can you? And I could say, sometimes I've been asking people for their advice on things where authentically only I know the answers. And that's why, it's an opportunity for implants and demons and whatever you'd like to call them to actually throw you off your path. Remember, it's free will. A lot of people have maybe this fear, like these real literal demons are going to come out and attack you, but that's not the case. They can never touch you. It's the law of free will. But what they can do is get in the subconscious mind, and they can get you from preventing yourself with self-doubt. You ever hear that little whisper from these people? They get in you and they say, Johnny, don't do it. Mary Jane, don't do it. You get those people? You get these little, the self-doubt that gets implanted in the mind. Ohio, heart of the USA, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Do you get those things on your journey? So we have to really go within. So what is tribulation? People hear this phrase tribulation. Tribulation, a cause of a great trouble or suffering. And some people are suffering right now. There's a lot of suffering going on in the world. There are different degrees of suffering, as we all have the 8 dimensions of wellness. And if you'd like to learn more about this on a weekly basis, as we collaborate on Zoom, you could join our Patreon, the 8 Dimensions of Wellness community tier. A cause of great trouble or suffering. We of liberty and freedom, thank you so much. Having strong ascension symptoms, but overall feeling more at peace and happier. Hey, it's Uncle Mike's story time. Thank you for all you do. Don't you love Uncle Mike's story time? We're going to have a lot of, you should all tune in tonight for Friday Night Live. We're going to have a lot of Uncle Mike's story time tonight for Friday Night Live. It's going to be tremendous. A cause of great trouble or suffering. And really, the way that this happens is through expectations and attachments. We're all human. We're all having a human experience, regardless of the gods and goddesses that we are. The infinite beings, the ones that actually created this universe, you have no clue, light warriors. But since we're having this human experience, we're all playing this game, the game of life. The serpents are losing. The boards are getting flung upside down right now. Expectations and attachments are the roots of suffering. Did you know this? When you have expectations, this is the way it has to be. This is the way it's going to play out. We start to have a lot of suffering. We're attached to certain outcomes. Oh, by this date, this has to happen. Then we have more suffering. We cannot be attached to these things anymore. We can't have these expectations. Does this resonate with you? Reflect on the past year. You know, you might have had expectations for your life. This is the way my life is going to play out. It's back online. Yeah, some sites have it back on. So when we go through these glitches and what this means when you're in the darkness, God's putting us in the dark. And, you know, imagine a world where everything went dark. Can you imagine this world where everything went dark? And it's actually a major cleansing and purging. When we cleanse and purge ourselves from the matrix, we could start to see clearly. And that's why it's perception. Perception is reality. When people are really, they need those false idols. They need their ego trip. Do you know about the ego trip on the gram? Got to hit that gram, you know, that Instagram, right? You got to get those likes. You got to stick out those duck lips, right? You got to put those filters on. You got to get those likes, right? Oh, you can't get the likes when it goes down. And then all of a sudden, our ego takes a big smash. And if you're not okay with sitting out on the beach by yourself, if you're not okay sitting up on a mountain by yourself, by the river by yourself, it's a very difficult time period. A lot of people don't have self-love. That's what we're doing on this channel. We're teaching you to have self-love. If the message resonates, please smash the like button. And people, they keep worshiping others. They're worshiping the false idol. They're actually not worshiping their family. They're focused on the false idols to tell them how to live. I'm watching it. I'm seeing real life evidence. Oh, how should I do this? What should I do? And listen, sometimes we have questions, but what we don't want is just sit there and have someone else tell us how to live our life. And they keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And this manifests. That's why the lion is the lions. You love those tremendous custom emojis? I appreciate for all the support joining the channel community. Light is information. to navigate. We're getting frustrated right now. I'm going to work on it later, Ben. We are very frustrated right now, and we're getting drained at this time period. And, without this information, we get very frustrated. And you have to feel what is right at this time. Once again, you will have to picture this, right? So light is the information. So now we don't have any information. What's going on right now in the world? What's happening next? So we're going to have to feel our way through. If you go into a room that you've never been in before, it's very difficult to navigate. We are in a time period in the world that we've never been in before. So it's very hard to navigate this time period. But when we go within, when we fill up our cup first, then we could go out and actually start creating the new earth. People want to create this energetic ball and chain to keep you in the matrix. Oh, don't do that. Just sit there. Just go back to normal. But it actually was never normal. It was actually satanic. So we have to wake up to the subconscious programming that was given to us. And you have to feel what is right. I shared with you a long time ago. Your body is the tuning fork to telling you the truth. So we have to throw away all of the expectations. We have to throw away all of the attachments that we've had. If you want to survive tribulation, and not only survive, but thrive during tribulation, you have to put on the full armor of God and navigate the darkness. Let's send out another beautiful frequency to recalibrate all the light workers of the world to navigate the dark. I was born in the dark. Bay Area believer, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Metaphysical Mike, thank you so much. Michael, I feel so proud and empowered. I walked into an interview in person today, and despite my heart racing and body shaking, I didn't leave the place. I'm very grateful that you shared that, Metaphysical Mike, because each and every one of us have to do something and push through this pain. And I shared many times about my very first video. You should check it out. That's a tremendous video. And when I did my first video, I was very nervous, and we have a lot of things that actually come into our path and try to throw us off our path, no matter what. I encourage each and every one of you to try out the 10 days of darkness for yourself, because you see, like, prior to what happened in 2020, there was a major lockdown, and a lot of people, their lives were rapidly changed. I was a professional at this. I already started doing my hiking and going to the beach and spending a lot of time by myself. But a lot of people, they couldn't go to the club. They couldn't do all these things, and they really struggled with it. Maybe start to practice and detox yourself from these things, because when it all goes down, how will you respond? Will it be your tribulation, or will it be theirs? That's what happened to a lot of people, Cheryl. And on the channel page, I shared about a friend of mine that actually passed away because of this. And it's amazing how they treat the everyday life people. And, you know, we have to be aware that we're actually in a spiritual war at this time. Lori McShirley, 555, the fifth dimension. Thank you so much for the support. I love you. You could whistle. Yeah, whistling is good. Yeah, you got to do these things, Light Warriors. You got to raise up your vibrational frequency. Yeah, it's just an acquaintance. It's a long story. I actually did a full video about this, like when this actually happened. It's still on the channel page, and it's really amazing what's going on. And it gets Nicole. Boom! She got it. Isn't that great? I do that with my sister a lot. I know she's tuning in. I love my sister. My sister's a warrior too. She's just like me. They try to tell my sister, you got to put an experiment inside of you. She told them where to go. And there's many warriors that are waking up right now. So we're actually going through tribulation. Over the last year, a lot of us have not had happiness. You know, and I'm sharing along with all of you, I really haven't had a lot of happiness in the last year. We haven't had happiness long term without stress. So if I could reflect on even my own personal life, and I'm here with all of you, we're going out of our comfort zones. Oh yeah, she's tremendous, Todd. She's actually tiny, but she's tremendous though. We haven't had happiness long term without stress. And we're actually going through tribulation right now. And we're able to navigate tribulation by removing expectations and attachments and knowing that we're in World War III. So we have to really change the way that we go about our life. We have to change our expectations. I was very frustrated, and I'm sharing again. You know, I'm using this site for so many years, and, you know, I'm trying to get this update. I said, I want to know how to plan what I'm going to speak about, and I can't get this update. And I'm seeing other ones are saying that it's back on, and, you know, this one is not updating. So that's the life that we're living in right now. So we have to actually go within, and the message that God wants us to share comes from the sacred heart. If you're new to the channel, the heart actually emits an electromagnetic field 5,000 times greater than your brain. So you will have to, not like that field, that heart chakra, that field, you are really needing to feel your way through with the heart chakra at this time. Sometimes surrendering in a good way, letting go, trusting the process. It's tremendously difficult. I'm not telling you that it's easy. I struggle with it as well. And that's why this is all about everyday life people. We're not here to be perfect, but what we are here is to be authentic. So, you know, reflect on your life in the past year. Have you been having long-term happiness? Or are we having this stress that constantly comes in? And they understand how the humans function. And, you know, we're social beings. We're actually all supposed to be together. But we're actually in a time period right now that our friends and family are actually attacking us. Is that you on your journey? Are you experiencing attacks from friends and family? But and again, it's very sad and it's very frustrating. We're trying to get the information that we need. We're trying to move to the next steps in our lives, and it's so dense. But what we need to do is break through everything right now and blast and break free and get it moving. And that's where we are at during this time period of tribulation. Once again, I've lost the live chat. So I have this other device here because otherwise I don't know what anyone's saying. So I got the, we're going to let this catch up a second here. And while that's happening, let's fine tune ourselves again. If you are having a time period where you might not have a lot of happiness, if you're dealing with a lot of stress, if you have expectations and attachments, use this frequency to remove expectations and attachments from your everyday life. This is God's frequency here. It's God's frequency. Let it all go. And I want you to really self-reflect on yourself. Think about it. How would you manage everything going dark for 10 days? And if you're new to the channel, we shared about this back in 2020. How a lot of people on the ascension journey, they've already been disconnecting from the matrix. They didn't have to go out to all those places that they closed down. They were just chilling out in nature. It was what we were always doing anyway. We were professionals at it. But are you mentally prepared, spiritually prepared? When all of your nice social medias and all that other stuff, what if they're dark for 10 days? What are you going to do? Do you love yourself? Are you able to sit by yourself on the beach? Can you do that for 10 days? And it's a good idea. You know, a lot of people talk about prepping, but it's all about prepping the mind. And oh, look at that, 777. What a beautiful number. Please keep smashing the like button so that others can find this very important message. And start to self-reflect on how you would react without all these things. How would you react? Would it be easy for you? Would it be second nature? Would you just keep going about your journey? Or would you freak out? You know, some people might be new to the channel. This was a real life story. I know a lot of you know this story already. This is a true story. It was in the news. I guess it's always true in the news. No. But this was a couple of years ago. There was a failing social media platform that went down for like a day or two, and people called 911. Can you believe that? That is a true story. So that's why, you know, we have to detox, we have to purge, we have to do these things ahead of time. And that's how we become spiritually strong for this time period. All assets can be deployed. And, you know, you have to keep improving yourselves. You know, attacks could come upon you physically, mentally, or spiritually. And how are you going to navigate those pitfalls on your journey? Will you fall into the pit? Will you start to have self-doubt? Will you get into the ego and say, I need to have all these things? Or are you going to be reconnecting to God during this time period? That's why we constantly are getting these great shakings. As we could see, a lot of humanity still is not waking up, and there's going to be a great shaking. It's called the Day of the Lord's Vengeance. Oh yeah, The day of the Lord's vengeance. And you could see the people in your life journey, and it's getting to the point where it's the frequency is so far apart, the dissonance, you can't deal with it anymore. So, really start to reflect on how you can navigate this tribulation. And the best way that you can do it is what Tesla said, and spending the time alone. A lot of you have taken up these routines and rituals of daily meditation. Whatever it is, however, and meditation could be different for everyone. If it's spending an hour working out, spending an hour riding a bike, spending an hour out in nature alone. It's really important during this time period to have time alone. And the more that you're creating, see, like I'm creating a whole new timeline. So it's really it's draining to the DNA. We're recalibrating the time. If you're new to this, you should check out Quantum Manifestation on the channel page. So, as we're being trained in the dark, we're trained in the dark. And, when we train, it's like, when you're weight training, you add more weight, you make it heavier to build stronger muscles, right? You bike up the hill, up over the bridge to train yourself to get stronger. So God is doing it. We have this very difficult, dark, and hard to navigate time period because God is training people to be sovereign. Once again, God is training people to be sovereign. So you're going to have to go within. You can't rely on all of these exterior sources, whether it's looking on the internet for something, whether it's looking on the TV for something, whether it's asking our friends and family for something. You're going to have to go within the sacred heart at this time. Remember that the heart chakra emits a field that's 5,000 times greater than your brain. It's true. And that's where you have to be at this time. So, stay focused on this and stay focused on the reality that you're creating. Tribulation is a cause of great trouble or suffering. So remove the roots of all suffering, judgment, expectations, attachments, and start to thrive and flourish. I was kind of mixing the two words. Start to thrive and flourish during this time period. Because as I shared with you out on the front line years ago, it's not our tribulation. It's theirs. And so it is. If you find this message interesting and you would like to learn more about our reality in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, why don't you click subscribe, give the video a like so it becomes visible to more people, and please share with one other person, because when we all share with one other person, we will rapidly grow our 5D community. Oh yeah. This is, it's a beautiful time period, even though it's dark and scary, because we're doing things that we never would have done. Like I'm doing something that I never would have done if Satan didn't come down with great anger, knowing that his time was short. Laura Lee Stanton, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that. It's my honor to serve you. And listen, don't be afraid. I know the demon growl, it's getting loud. They're getting louder. They're growling louder and louder. But remember, the lion's roar is louder than the demon's growl. Are there some lions in the chat? Some custom lions? Let me know. You got to stand strong, Light Warriors. You got to stand strong. And that's what this time period is all about. And I'm very grateful for all the support. Again, if you'd like to join our Patreon, and we have live Zoom meetings, and every single one of our recordings is up there for you to watch if you decide to join now. And, link is pinned above for anyone that like to support, and go to the channel page and visit all of these videos that last the test of time. It all lasts the test of time. Marianne Casano, thank you so much, Marianne. I love you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for you. This is not the end. It's just the beginning. So, and especially if you're new to the channel, why don't you subscribe, click that bell, select all. I'll be back, Light Warriors, for Friday Night Live. Oh yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah, and it's important. So it's a time of tribulation. It's a time that people are suffering, but that's why we have beautiful creations. I just create all day long. I just keep creating. We have to laugh, and we have to keep our vibes very, very high during this time period. So all of these things are important. As my Nana once shared to me when I was a boy, she trained me up as a light warrior that I am today. There's a time for this and a time for that. There's a time to be strong. There's a time to swing the sword. And there's time to just party like we do every Friday for Friday Night Live. So I'm going to see you all tonight. It's going to be a tremendous episode of Friday Night Live. And again, keep sharing the videos. Share our links out. Go to the channel page. Check them out. We have the solfeggio frequencies. They have a full playlist. I didn't spend my time going out and filming that. You like that beautiful sunrise, Light Warriors? Listen, go out. If you've never seen a sunrise, go out there and watch the sunrise. It'll change you forever. You start realizing, look at this. There's so much more to this life than working in the box, slaving away to the matrix. People have been doing the same thing over and over again. Reflect on your life. Reflect on others. Are you doing the same thing that you were doing last year? Or are you doing something totally different? And the people that are trying to drive your ship, are they doing the same thing that they're doing last year? Or are they totally doing something different? Are they building the new earth? Or are they trying to keep the matrix afloat? Reflect on these things. There's a lot of self-reflection at this time in the dark. All right. I love all of you. I'll see you all tonight.